At the end of last year, a man named Ebo Noah convinced millions of people through his mysterious statements that a massive doomsday was approaching. He issued such a severe warning that people were forced to leave their homes. His name was everywhere in the media. People had come to believe that we were all going to be submerged in a huge flood of water. According to experts, due to the intensity of global warming, all of this seemed possible. Millions of dollars in donations were collected from the public and massive boats had already been constructed. Then, suddenly, the police in Ghana arrested Ebo Noah and put him in jail. A name began to echo through the streets of Ghana that forced every individual to stop and think. Ebo Noah. He was no ordinary TikToker. He was a man who claimed to possess knowledge of the future. At first, people laughed at his proclamations, but as his words began to come true, a flood of fear swept across the nation. Everyone was left asking the same question: is he truly a chosen man of God, or merely a charlatan? However, the real story began when he prophesied his own death and a coming destruction. His videos spread like wildfire across TikTok, where he appeared in mysterious attire, speaking in riddles. There was a haunting glint in his eyes that instilled terror in the hearts and minds of his viewers. He would often say, "The time is near, and you all must account for your sins." People began calling him a prophet, and his following grew day by day. But the question remained: was this merely social media stardom or a deeper, more sinister plan? Ebo Noah's most dangerous prophecy was the one that shook all of Ghana to its core. He claimed that on a specific date, a prominent figure in the country would pass away. Upon hearing this, a storm erupted in the media, and a wave of panic spread everywhere. Can someone truly know the time of death in advance? Or was this all a deadly game? The suspense intensified as the date approached, and the atmosphere grew heavy with dread. But the story did not end there, because Ebo Noah wasn't just talking. He was playing with people's minds. He declared that if his word proved false, he would punish himself. Yet there was such conviction in his voice that even his enemies trembled. People were afraid to sleep at night, fearing that the next morning would bring exactly what Noah had predicted. No one knew what was happening behind the scenes, but the fear was very real. Ebo Noah made his biggest and most terrifying prediction when he claimed that on December 25th, 2025, a catastrophic flood would hit the country. He screamed that glaciers were melting rapidly and the resulting surge of water would wash everything away. People shuddered at his words. A date meant for celebration was being turned into a day of doom. In every household, the conversation was the same. Would the flood truly destroy everything this time? The suspense grew so great that people began fleeing areas designated as high-risk zones. Surprisingly, even experts weighed in on Noah's claims, acknowledging that glaciers were indeed melting. When science and Noah's warnings aligned, a sense of impending apocalypse gripped the nation, leaving the government in a state of high anxiety. Every eye was fixed on the calendar as December 25th approached like a dark shadow. Was Noah truly in tune with the signs of nature, or was this just a coincidence working in his favor? The experts' validation elevated him from a common TikToker to a master of hidden knowledge. Then, the day of December 25th finally arrived, the day that changed everything and unmasked the real Noah. The entire day passed, the sky remained clear, and there was not a single sign of a flood anywhere. Noah's prophecy had failed miserably. The people, who had been hiding in their homes out of fear, were now consumed by a towering rage as they realized they had been fooled. But just as the public began to denounce him, police vehicles suddenly surrounded his hideout. This false prophecy turned out to be his last day of freedom, as the law finally tightened its grip on him. The scene at the time of his arrest was bizarre. Noah offered no resistance. Instead, he looked at the police and let out a loud laugh. He said, "You can capture me, but you cannot capture the truth I have placed before you." People were stunned to see how confident he remained despite being bound in chains. Was this his final move, or did he truly know something they didn't? Everyone was busy searching for answers, but the mystery only deepened. When he was presented in court, he continued to try and influence people in his signature style. Law enforcement agencies charged him with terrorism and inciting public fear. Despite this, his followers stood outside, desperate for a single glimpse of him. The story had moved beyond a TikTok video and into the complexities of the legal system, where every witness seemed terrified. Today, Ebo Noah is behind bars, but his words continue to circulate across the internet. Some say he was a complete fraud, while others are still waiting for his prophecies to come true. Was he truly a prophet, or just a brilliant mind who knew how to manipulate human emotions? The story is not over yet, because in the silence of his jail cell he is still writing something new, and the world is still waiting for his next video. Ebo Noah may be a liar and a cunning person, but the story of the one he wanted to connect his life with is completely true, because it is mentioned in every heavenly book, whether it belongs to Muslims, Christians, or Jews. Yes, we are talking about Prophet Noah. It is because of this great event that today the world refers to Ebo as Ebo Noah. If you want our next video to be about the life of Prophet Noah, make sure to let us know in the comments. Those who have stayed with us until now will surely have liked this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and support us. Thank you.